Sound is probably one of the most important things about someone's setup, whether it comes to streaming, recording videos, doing YouTube and stuff like that. Audio is probably one of the biggest things that people notice right off the bat. So if you have a very noisy microphone, or if your microphone has a lot of reverb and stuff like that, or if the audio is just not good, more than likely people are gonna click off of it. So how do you fix that? What do you do to fix that? And with so many options of XLR microphones out there, which one do you pick? Well, I decided I want to try out this, the Shure MV7. Now, a lot of people know of the Shure name because of the SM7B, which is probably one of the most popular broadcasting, podcasting, and streaming microphones out there right now, but it's also $400. And you really need a lot of gain to make it sound good. Otherwise, it's not gonna be loud enough for anyone to hear. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then you just have to do some research on it, because I don't wanna get too far in depth about that. But I do wanna dive into this, the MV7. So this gives a very similar look to the SM7B. It's got what I think what's called a yoke mount from what I've been doing my research on. Now, the big reason why I'm buying this for myself is because, again, I want to be able to clean up my audio when I'm doing unboxings like these and be able to actually have a microphone that I can just put into place, use, and then put away whenever I need it. And that's why I thought this would be perfect, having the actual podcast one. It just comes with a Manfrotto like desk mount kind of deal. So that's kind of neat, but let's go ahead and dive into it, shall we? All right, and so in here we have, let me see. Ooh, it's actually kind of heavy. So we got 2 boxes inside the box. Oh, that's interesting. So this Manfrotto mount right here actually has the Shure logo on it, so this actually has a Shure logo written all over it, which is kind of nice. Although I will say one thing that I've noticed right off the bat that I'm not really a huge fan of is that they did put the Shure logo all over it. So if you look at the SM7B, it's very clean, neat, and just blacked out, which I really like about it. This is a little bit overboard, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So we have our desk mount, which is actually kind of heavy. I have another one of these for my cameras, and also if you notice, this has a different thread mount on it, but this actually has some weight to it. So I'm actually feeling kind of hopeful about that piece. And then I'm assuming, oh no, that's literally it. I thought there was like cables in this, but there's not. That's literally it. And now onto the microphone, and we just open it up like that. We got some quick start guides, and oh, talking about the Shure app. That's another thing that's really cool about this one, is that it actually has an application you can download for it. So a program. I've heard a lot of good things about it in my research I've been looking for, but wow. Okay, this thing's actually pretty heavy, I'm not gonna lie. There you go. Bam, here it is. The Shure MV7. It looks really neat. I'm not a huge fan of the Shure on the side. Like if I do end up keeping this microphone, if I like it, then I'll probably end up trying to figure out a way to get rid of this. I did watch a video on someone that actually did a mod on it, which was really cool. So probably put that in the description down below if you guys want to do that to your own. But yeah, there we are. Kind of neat. You got capacitive buttons up top. So if you guys want, you can actually mute your mic as well as change the volume of it and stuff like that. You can also, on top of that, you can, mute's over here. This is gonna be to switch your, like what you're hearing, whether you're hearing the mix of the audio from this or if you're hearing the actual like headphones. So, and then this windscreen actually does come off fairly easy, which is kind of weird, but I don't think it's gonna be I saw someone that did a review on it and they said it was like gonna fall off, but I don't think you're gonna have an issue with this thing falling off. And then the included cables are it's a USB-C to a micro USB. I'm assuming that might be for phones or something like that, I guess. I think that's what it is. And then next we got, there we go. We got a micro USB cable, which is kind of a bummer that this thing takes micro USB, and then I think it released like maybe last year or something like that. I really wish it would have switched over to a USB Type-C, but there it is, microphone. So now let's go and plug this up and see what it sounds like. I'm gonna do a few tests of this with basically just flat or dry, people would call it. So without any EQing, see how it sounds. And then I'm also going to try it out with XLR and then also with the app via USB. I've heard a lot of good things from both. Oh, let's try this actually. Oh, it's kind of nice. Let me see. If I were to use this for my videos, what it would look like. I guess it's kind of nice because you can like lean it. Oh no. Oh. All right, maybe this way. No, we'll do it with this. That way the Shure logo is facing this way. There we go. Maybe we'd have it off to the side like this. Cool. All right, let's plug it in, test it out, see what it's like. All right, so right now I have my SM7B and my MV7 hooked up. I don't have them hooked up at the exact same time, but what I'm gonna do is just unplug the cable, plug it into the MV7, and try it out. First, we're gonna try it with the EQ on, and then without the EQ, and then the only thing that's in my audio chain is my Go XLR right now. And this is my settings right here that I have for my equalizer and my gain. I don't know why it goes low like this, but this is the actual gain that I use for my SM7B, which I'm gonna try and use with the MV7 as well. So I'm just gonna keep everything the same, just give it an idea of, you know, is the difference really worth it? Can you see the difference? Can you, I guess, could you hear the difference is really what it comes down to. Let's check it out. This is a test of my microphone with EQ. This is a test of my microphone, the SM7B, without EQ. This is the test of the MV7 without any EQ. And this is a test of the MV7 with EQ. All right, so now we have both of those. Let's go ahead and listen back to them and see what we think. What? I looked at the wrong thing. I looked at my chat like I was streaming right now, but I'm not. Which, by the way, I do stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night on Twitch. You guys should check me out. So, shameless plug. This is a test of my microphone with EQ. This is a test of my microphone, the SM7B, without EQ. This is the test of the MV7 without any EQ. And this is a test of the MV7 with EQ. All right. Honestly, I feel like I do like the sound of the SM7B. And as you can see here too, it's a little bit quieter, the SM7B. But I mean, I don't know if there's really like $150 difference though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you really think there was that much of a difference with it? All right, but now I want to quickly plug this in and see if I can do a USB test and see if there's a massive difference with that, because I feel like I've actually heard this with USB and I think I actually like the sound better, but we're going to try that and find out. All right, so go and download the Motive app. All right, so I currently have it hooked up with both, which is actually kind of a neat thing about this. And as you can see, well, you might not be able to see it here, but on the side, the lights are actually now lit up. Oh, interesting. You can, okay. These are all now lit up. I'll probably go ahead and show like a B-roll of it, but now you have the lights on here. You can actually go ahead and move the capacitive button down and then up to actually increase or decrease the volume of it. So I actually have it set up both. So now my Go XLR is capturing it and it's being captured via USB as well. So let's go ahead and try it out and see what the app makes it sound like. All right, so with this, you have a couple different options with the software. You can either do an automatic, so an auto level if you guys want to try that, or you can do manual if you want to go ahead and do it yourself. There's also presets apparently that you can do and save them. So actually that's kind of neat. I didn't even know that. And I don't feel like no one really talked about that when I was looking up some stuff. There's a limiter on here to make sure that you're not clipping. You can also do a compression as well too. So if you want to make it heavy or light. So we'll go ahead and add both the high pass and the presence boost as well. Oh wait, oh, hang on. Let's do a firmware update first. All right. So now we actually updated it and let's go back through. Oh, interesting. Oh, and there's night mode. Does that turn that off? Live meter. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. And I'm going to try to adjust this so you guys can actually see this. But if you look at it, so on the side here, it's actually got a live metering mode. So you can actually see where the levels are on this. I don't know if you can still, oh, and it still works too. So if you still want to adjust your volume, you can actually do that all the way through. Let's turn that up to max. Oh, there we go. And it's actually, oh, and it's showing you too if you actually clip or not. So it goes orange. Ah, it's a nice little touch. Didn't know that. All right, so let's go ahead and mess around with this. So there is a high pass filter, a low presence boost, as well as a high pass and a presence boost at the same time. You can also do a limiter too, just to make sure that you're not actually clipping or anything like that. We're also going to bring the compression up to heavy, just try it out. So why not? And let me see. I think it was a little quiet. So let's go ahead and do 36 gains of boost and see how that works. So let's do recording now. This is a recording of the MV. Oh my God, we are too loud. Wait a minute. That is way too loud. Where we're at before. I think we're at 26. Now let's try. Check. All right, let's try this. Check. Hey! This is a test of the MV7 with EQ through their app or software, whatever it's called. Let's go ahead and do a test with auto and see how it actually works, if it's good or not. Also, you can still adjust some things. So if you want it to be near or far, you can choose which position you want it in. which I thought was kind of neat. And then you can also choose if you want a dark tone, a bright tone, or a natural tone. So let's go ahead and try that out now and record that in Audition. This is a test of the MV7 on the auto mode. How do I sound? Ooh. This is a test of the MV7 on the auto mode. How do I sound? Ooh. All right, now finally, let's go ahead and go through this, and I'm going to go ahead and list exactly what it is as far as like if it's the SM7B, if it has any EQ on it or not, and then we'll go from there and see what we think. This is a test of my microphone with EQ. This is a test of my microphone, the SM7B, without EQ. This is the test of the MV7 without any EQ. And this is a test of the MV7 with EQ. This is a test of the MV7 without any EQ via USB. This is a test of the MV7 with EQ through their app or software, whatever it's called. This is a test of the MV7 on the auto mode. How do I sound? Ooh. This is a test of the MV7 with my own spin on it. All right, and that's pretty much it for the recording. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my main shot, and we're going to discuss what we found. All right, let me go ahead and go over some pros and cons I found about the microphone in my personal opinion and my research. Let's talk about the good things about this microphone. I think this microphone looks great. It also offers USB and XLR, which adds to the ability to either versatility to it and future upgrades. You can also get a cable that will actually work with the phone. So that way, if you want to do on-the-go podcasting and not have to worry about buying a Zoom recorder down the road, you don't have to worry about that. You can just use your cell phone instead. The capacitive controls when you have it plugged in via USB is actually pretty awesome. I really liked that feature, and I thought it was kind of neat that you actually have a mic monitor on there as well too, just to see if you're going too high or clipping. I thought that was a nice little touch. The software is pretty easy to control and simple to navigate as well too. Now let's talk about the cons of this, in my opinion. Personally, I wish it would have went with an XLR top mount at the yoke, bottom of the yoke, or the top of the yoke instead of behind the actual microphone, but it's really not a huge deal. I also am not a huge fan of the fact that it says Shure all over the side of it, but like I said, I might be modifying this if I do end up keeping it to just be completely blacked out on the sides. I wish it was just a little bit more clean and neat, and again, I think that's where they try to design this like the SM7B. I mean, they literally made it try to look like the SM7B, but the fact that they have Shure blasted all on the sides kind of takes away from its good look and appeal. Personally, from my standpoint, I wish they would have just left it black like this and maybe put the Shure on the backside or even on the ring like they did for this one too. Also, funny enough, I had this listed as a con, but I really feel like the plosives weren't as bad as they seemed. A lot of the other reviews that I saw when this actually first came out, the plosives were actually really, really harsh on them, and I noticed it right off the bat, and I feel like a lot of other reviewers noticed it off the bat as well. However, for me, I feel like the plosives honestly weren't too bad, even when I was speaking directly into it, even though right now it's on and off access, but I thought it was actually pretty decent. Overall, I really do think this is a nice microphone. If you do plan on using this just for streaming, I think there might be some better options out there for you. But if you do want this to be versatile, because if you are going to be recording YouTube videos or podcasts on the go, as well as using it on your computer, I love the fact that it's XLR and USB. So you have the ability to use it in a number of different ways with whatever equipment you have. So again, I feel like it is a very versatile kind of microphone. I really thought I would have loved this microphone as, again, like an entry level, like use it as USB and then eventually upgrade it to XLR later on down the road, which is what it is meant for. But unfortunately, I feel like there's better USB microphones that are going to be less expensive. And then when you do want to go into an XLR mic, you can just end up investing in a couple of other XLR microphones that are actually solid options for less expensive. So to wrap it up after the pros and cons, I honestly think this is a really nice microphone. I really do like it, especially for the cost. I think the versatility of it is fantastic. If you're just using it for streaming and that's it, I would probably recommend some other devices for you instead of this microphone. But if you are going to use it for podcasting, for on-the-go stuff, if you want to use it for head-on shots like this, as well as streaming, I think it's a really versatile microphone to have in your kit, and it's nice being able to use it in a pinch. If you guys like the content, then feel free to hit that like button, help me out, and also hit that subscribe button, so that way you can go ahead and continue to see more content like this, because I do want to do more reviews that are based around like YouTube gear as well as streaming gear as well. So please let me know what you guys want to see next, and thank you so much, and have a fantastic, amazing day. Execute. Oh my God, yes! Woo! We got to be next Pikachu, baby! Let's go! Hell yes! Oh my God, dude. No way. No f***ing way, chat. No way. No! Let's go!